Hey guys, Thomas Genie here, aka Mustached Tom, and welcome back to some more Death Stranding. Last time we spent 3 hours trying to finish this game, and it was quite not enough. And I'll be blunt, it is way riskier for a smaller content creator like myself to do so long form content, as people have enough trouble watching a few seconds of my videos. I know, I see it on my thing, so I know. Anyways, let's get on with it. So it's been decided that Amelia will lead the expedition. In terms of talent and temperament, it was only ever going to be her or Sam Strand. But we don't know where Sam is, which made the decision easy. Besides, there's no denying she's special. Amelia was born on the beach, or rather her physical body, her Ha, that was born into this world, while her spiritual essence, her Ka, was born on the beach. Medically speaking, they weren't sure what to call it in the end. They settled on a diagnosis similar to what's known as locked-in syndrome, a condition where the subject is mentally present but physically unable to move their body, except for their eyes sometimes. The president was able to communicate with Emil's soul on the beach, but her body remained as it was when she was born. But after a time, thanks mainly to the president's efforts, she began to show progress. Emil's physical and spiritual selves gradually came together, and her body began to develop normally. It was right about then that they realized she was also a doomed sufferer, and began to assertion her incredible abilities. She can transport herself physically to her own beach. Guess it makes sense. That world is more real to her than this one. She may also have overcome her initial struggles, but she still spent most of her life on the other side, and over there, time stands still, which is why even now she looks like she's in her 20s. Eventually, the president came to feel that her daughter had been through enough. From the point onward, all communication with Emil would be via hologram. Even during the expedition, she wouldn't be in direct contact with most of the team. It's not a bad plan, to be fair. It'll help to keep her out of reach of terrorists for a start. There's a psychological framework for which posits that the human personality is comprised of various strands, or inner minds. Our outer character, each is a strand, or thread, made up of yet smaller threads which interweave with each other to make us who we are. In nurturing each strand, we become better people and inure ourselves against psychological harm, or so the theory goes. As odd as it may sound, this is not entirely dissimilar concept to the one which lies behind that most ubiquitous of Obijie artifacts, the dream catcher. You've seen them before, yes? A woven web of threads said to protect the mind from harm by trapping nightmares, thus ensuring that only present dreams pass through. It is no coincidence that these charms came to symbolize the pan-Indian movement of the 20th century. The many and varied Native American tribes strove to set aside their differences in order to foster a group identity, a singular dream. As such, it came to symbolize what made them one people, what united them. In essence, strands can represent that which makes us who we are, that which differentiates us from what we are not, and the bonds we share with one another. Cupids means knot in the Quichua language. Objects given the name were used in ancient Incan society to record and transmit information. Yet, Emil just happens to wear one. Then wore past Cupo from one place to another via a network of messengers known as chasequis. You might have been surprised at the complexity that can be communicated through a simple system of knots, and not merely numerical data. It is said that the whole histories could be contained in these intrinsic webs. Some theories suggest that they were ascribed magical properties too. Certain combinations of knotted numbers were thought to encourage the dead to sleep peacefully in their graves, for example. Thus, we see that the Cupid is a tool for communication, storytelling, and ritual. Okay. Well, let's get back out there and finish what we started.
You know what day this may be? Today would be a very special day. You're not born yet. But the more candles, the merrier, right? Soon it'll be time for you to come out into the real world. Promise. And then, you can have a real life. Happy birthday.
Sam, check the terminal for available orders.
All weapons will be locked until departure.
Oh, here we go again. Oh, I don't think this one will be as bad. But then again, I have been proven wrong. Let's get a vehicle. Hopefully shorten this a little bit this time around.
Don't forget, that container isn't airtight. You can't afford to submerge it, even partially.
There we go.
Order assigned. Pleasant journey.
We've been getting near constant timefall in this region. For a while now. As a result, everything you built for us out here has been completely destroyed. The good news is, we managed to recover all cargo stored outside and transferred it to the capital Note City Distro Center. As for the not so good news, gyro printers are currently unusable due to the network instability. Given the circumstances, you might want to consider turning to your fellow porters for assistance. And I'll leave that up to you, Sam. I'm sure you'll come through for us. You always do.
And we go to the mute. As we are plagued with another great song, I'm sure. But you know how we do here on YouTube, where the almighty song gets you the copyright and then you're just like, oh no, my whole future. There goes everything I built. Alright, we're We're struggling uphill, baby. I wonder if there's gonna be another stop like there was last time where the dogs were just like, no! And I had to be like, yeah, we doing it. Ah, great. This nonsense again. Well, that's creepy. Ah, jeez. Well, that's what I was afraid of. Oh, Jesus. Easy. But now we're back on foot again. Okay. Keep on running. I think I got a bug. Because that's just staying up there. Where is this connecting to before I collect another bike? Does this connect to anything? Fuck off. No one ever does the zip lines.
This one's for you.
Back on the road. Of course another one's happening already. Oh. Baby Lou doesn't like it. Oh no. I can't go up this way, Jesus Christ. Okay, well. We're just gonna have to deal. Let's go this way then. Fuck it. Ow, I got pecked by a bullet. Oh, Jesus. Okay. What the heck was that? Oh. Oh. Well, admittedly, that has a pretty cool design. Oh. Literally kill it. Ugh. Thank you. Whoa. managed to do it. Hell yeah. That's what I like to say.
Yes, you did it, Sam. Oh, I could kiss you, you sweet son of a bitch. I thought it was all over.
Yeah, well. Oh, wrong way. To bring it back where it all began.
Thank heavens you made it. Fragile's been in a coma for a while now. But with all these cryptobiomes you brought, we should be able to bring her round. And with any luck, it'll only take a few more to get her back on her feet. You did well, Sam.
Ugh. Hell yeah.
Sam!
You're back. It must have been one hell of a journey, especially on your own. But now the whole team is together again.
The whole team. Die Hardman too.
Too much traveling to and from beaches in such a short span. Chiral matter contaminated her cells, effectively causing jet lag on a molecular level. Because of that, her homeostatic mechanisms were shaken. Don't worry, she's not in any danger, but she needs some rest.
So where's the director?
He's being looked after in another room. Bridges personnel found him lying outside the isolation ward, similar to when you came back from Cliff's Beach. Even after decontamination, she needed more and more time to recover.
Put so much on the line, girl.
Sam, I made it.
Hungry?
Thanks. Looks like you need me after all. Who'd have thought? Anyway, clock's ticking. Am I right? Sam's here. The great deliverer. The only one who can reach Emily's beach.
You're in no condition to do this. It's not fair to you or Sam.
In my own search for Amelie's beach, I have come to realize something extraordinary. If beaches were likened to a multiverse, hers would appear to exist on a higher plane than ours. I can walk the beaches of others, but hers is beyond my reach. It's invisible, inaccessible, even to fragile, I fear. Imagine it as a circulatory system, if you will. Each of our beaches is a single capillary, but Amelie's beach is the heart that pumps blood to the rest of us. Capillaries are subordinate to the greater whole, a whole governed by the heart, which gives direction, which dictates flow, which dictates everything, controls everything. Don't you see? She is in control. You may be able to travel against the flow and reach her, but having done so, if she does not wish to let you go, if she wishes to keep you, she can.
Fragile and Die-Hard men broke free from her beach, didn't they?
I don't think it was any different from what happened to you. I didn't get out because I wanted to. I was forced out, repatriated, if you will, by her.
Forced out? Why?
This is only a theory, but she wants you to go to her. That's her final wish, don't you think?
So that's it, huh? Amelie's the EE and this is her endgame. Just so we're clear, if I want to stop the last Stranding and come back in one piece, I need to go to her beach and talk her out of it. That about right?
Correct. As cliche as it sounds, you're our only hope.
Damn.
Though quite frankly, I doubt even you can change her mind.
If you can't make her see reason, you'll have to kill her. And if you kill her,
You'll save the world, but you'll be stranded outside of it. Forever.
Might as well make it official then. You ready to deliver the package? I'll talk to her. Maybe she'll listen. But with the shape the world's in, it'll only be delaying the inevitable. Still, if it buys us time to try and build something better, a new lease on life, at least for a little bit, well, I can think of one woman who made the most of a chance like that. Nothing lasts forever, not even the world. But we gotta keep it going as long as we can, right? Patch the holes, change the parts, all that. So we can say we had a good run, that we lived.
Thought you didn't like having to handle things with care.
Because it was hard enough keeping my own shit together. Back when we met at the cave, the only thing I cared about was making it to the next sunrise. Sure as hell didn't care about America or the future. I was living a lie, hung up on past regrets. I was broken. But somewhere along the way, I started changing. I started meeting people that made me think that maybe it wasn't all bad. People that put their faith in tomorrow, and in me. That kept the lights on, and waited for hope to arrive.
Big speech!
So I gotta deliver, for their sake.
Even if it means you never come back?
Fucked if I do, fucked if I don't, right? Take care of Lou.
I will.
Couldn't find a working still mother east of Port Knot City. Kid's done enough. No more.
All right. I'll do my best to nurse our little one back to health.
Okay, concentrate. Help me look for Emily. Reach for her, Sam. Feel her. I know you love her. You love her!
Get ready for another 3 hours! I don't think it'll be that bad again. But who knows? I could be wrong again.
Sam. There you are.
from Strand.
Anybody out there? Amelie!
Okay, I was forced to do that.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady.
The last stranding has already begun.
Amelie,
What do you mean?
You're too late. What took you so long?
your voice.
You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
Sam. I knew you'd come back. Sam, listen to me. I love you, Sam.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting for you on the beach. I've been waiting for you, right here, ever since. You were supposed to stop me. Stop all of this.
Bridget,
Yes. It's me, Sam.
where's Amelie?
Where she's always been. Nowhere. My daughter, Samantha America Strand, doesn't exist.
Amelie doesn't exist.
Not in your world. I'm sorry, Sam. I've had to wear a mask for so long. Amelie and Bridget are both a part of me.
What's this supposed to mean?
Quiet, and I'll tell you. There is no time for questions. Listen. Just listen.
Okay. I think I'm done trying to understand this game.
Do you understand, Sam? Amelie and Bridget, those are just names. What I am is an extinction entity. So, knowing what you know now, you have two choices.
Us getting shot, one of them.
You wouldn't come back if it happened here, you know. You'd be straight on to the afterlife. But no, it's not one of them. Killing you would be a terrible mistake. I know that better than anyone.
What's that supposed to mean?
The last stranding has already begun. A seam has formed from my beach and the beaches of every soul in America. And soon it will be inundated by a vast surge of antimatter starting here. In a flash, this world will be no more. Consumed by an explosion. A big bang. So, that brings us to your first choice. Do nothing. Stay here with me and bear witness to the very end.
Just watch it burn.
Together with me until the last flame winks out. Doesn't sound so bad, does it? It's not like the world has long left anyway.
You don't know that for sure.
Then there's the second choice. In expanding the network, you brought people and their beaches together, integrating them into a greater whole. Like this Kipu. But in doing so, you also bound them to my beach. The very beach where I opened the gates to the other side. You can't stop what's coming. But if you cut me and my beach loose, perhaps you can stop it from spreading. You might just prevent the last stranding.
So it's a risk.
And mankind will live to die another day.
The
It
gamble.
doesn't have to end here.
But it does. The beach is doomed no matter what. One look ought to tell you that. Which is why we must sever our connection.
That'll be it. The end of the Death Stranding.
You can't stop the inevitable. The sixth extinction will happen either today or tomorrow. You can either end it with dignity, quick, clean, and in a flash, or you can struggle in vain, knowing full well what's waiting come the finish. Those are your choices. You kept it all this time. Perhaps you still have a chance to stop this nightmare. You brought the world together. You have the right to decide. Pull the rope or cut the noose. But whatever you do, don't hesitate. I'm ready, Sam Strand. Make your choice.
Wait. I don't know what to do.
Sure you do. After everything, how could you not?
Connect again.
I'm ready, Sam Strand.
What?
Make your choice.
But I shot her. I don't understand.
Wait. I don't know what to...
I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. Can't believe it, but while I'm recording, I'm trying to find, like, what I'm missing here.
I'm ready, Sam Strand. Make your choice.
Wait.
Let's see. Gotta turn down the volume here. What am I missing? Cause this shit is confusing the fuck out of me. This video is kind of unclear. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay. I'm reading about 2 choices with 2 endings. I don't really care which one I get. I just want a fucking ending. So... let's go to this one. Let's see if this has better information. Okay. Oh my god. Are you serious? That's one of the endings. Okay, there's that. This choice sucks. So get this.
I'm here for you. Always. Like you were for me.
I don't even understand what the other ending is. I don't even want to bother checking. This is frustrating. To no degree.
Here.
Fuck this
It's a
game.
dream catcher. Wear it when you sleep, and I'll keep the nightmares away. I'll always be with you. When you're all grown up, you'll need it to make us whole again. And when the time comes, you'll have to stop me. You are the only one who can. Promise you'll remember. Sam, I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
I remember. You knew. You always knew.
I did and I didn't. I had so many dreams of the future. I didn't know which ones to trust. Which is why I decided to share them with you and the others. But to connect the dots, to make sense of everything, you need perspective. You need time. Time has no meaning to me. I am not a line. I am a single point. Which is why all I could do was just show you the choices and let you decide.
Yeah, but I didn't get a choice. So at least I don't even understand what the other choice was to do. I tried shooting her, I tried running away. I don't know, like, what
You found the common thread. The strand.
This isn't Ghost of Tsushima, where it shows you a very clear, distinct choice line.
To live life.
This is fucking obscure if there was another alternative.
Thank you, Sam. A gun won't help you here, but it still has a role to play. It was the bonds between people that brought the world together. And if that is what matters most to you, then I will stay here on this beach. And I will shut myself in and the rest of you out.
Shut yourself in, come on.
Once the last stranding starts, it can't be stopped. I can't go with you. All I can do is try to spare you the worst.
Why do you have to stay on the beach?
Sam, I am the beach. And I must stay here and ensure that the extinction happens. Even if it takes tens or hundreds of thousands of years.
Alone.
That's what an EE does. If I had just done my job, none of this would have happened. I couldn't take it anymore. I got so tired of waiting, and I figured that no one would blame me if I just got it all over with. So, that's what I did.
Sounds like hell.
But you and the others came together, connected. And you may be living on borrowed time, but you still have hope. Before each of the big five, life rebelled. They fought back, evolved in order to survive. The extinction isn't just an end. It's an opportunity.
Okay, if you say so.
And if I have to pay the price for that, to be the sacrifice, then so be it. Even if we aren't together, we will always be connected. Goodbye, Sam. A gun won't help you here. But it still has a role to play.
Is that the end? It's giving me credits. I guess that's the end of Death Stranding? Well, you already know my thoughts about it. But I do have a full review coming up. The pacing is definitely this game's, like, Achilles heel among the fight, like, the combat. It's being really noticeable. I'm gonna let all the credits, or the names, pass by. Or some of them, I guess.
Quiet, and I'll tell you. There is no time for questions. When you were young, you used to have bad dreams. You cried about them all the time. The truth is, those weren't your dreams. They were mine. For as long as I can remember, I've dreamt of the beach. Not just while sleeping, in my waking hours too. In my dreams, I watched the world end so many times. Countless past extinctions that decimated life on this planet. Again and again and again. At first I didn't understand what I was seeing or why. And that wasn't the worst of it. There were other, more terror dreams. Dreams of death and destruction, of a massive extinction to come. Like this one. And I would always be the one to end it all. To bring about the last stranding, as I have today.
Hideo Kojima. I gotta say, that story kind of also fell apart a little bit too for me. You know, just like, I don't even know how to put it, like, the combat is just so terrible. And then there's just some advancements, particularly later down, where I was just like, I'm so confused. On, like, why you're presenting a game in such a way where you have so much of it be something, and then you suddenly have to do the exact opposite or do something that's like far-fetched, and it's actually the right thing. And I'm referring to, when you had to purposely get captured by the whatever they're called, the entity things.
First operation, I was only 20.
There's still a story happening.
And found myself on the beach.
I figure they're trying to justify all of this nonsense now.
I was back in the hospital bed. I was split across two worlds. Bridget, my Ha in that one. Amelie, my Ka in this. Somehow, the two of us managed to coexist. Soon, our ages began to diverge. Only Bridget's body got older, while the beach kept Amelie's the same. So I came up with a story. I told people that Amelie was my daughter. A daughter with a debilitating condition and an absent father. Look. Amelie. Is French for soul. A soul that's a lie. There was no Amelie. Only me and the beach.
That's another thing of Hideo Kojima. Every name has a meaning.
Later, I started thinking, maybe I can use this. I tried to find out more about the beach. Because understanding the beach had to be the key to interpreting my visions of the future.
It's so bizarre that they would... That's what I mean about the pacing. It's like, you're really gonna have story at the credits. Because you're now trying to finally justify, like, so much of this material now, at the end of the game. Like, what are you doing? You could have sprinkled this throughout the entire story. But no. Like, I don't think that's good writing. It's not. And it doesn't do your pacing good for the gameplay portion either. It hurts both things simultaneously. Because you're like, how invested am I in, just delivering things from one place to another? To me, that doesn't hold interest in it of itself. I mean, I guess that can be soothing for some people, without, the stress of being caught with a, from a beat or a, from a soul thingy with Bob. So I really the limitations of this game really shine through because of that. And I have a sinking feeling that the director's cut, besides adding a few probably much needed things, and I saw from the combat, from the gameplay, from that trailer, I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say it probably didn't fix the game. Oh, I'm back in here.
I realized the beach was connected to the world of the dead, which meant that somewhere out beyond it were the memories of time itself, including those of every organism that had ever lived. 4.6 billion years of biological history, a history that might even stretch back to the creation of the universe. The chiral network and everything that followed was born from my pursuit of that knowledge. By passing data through the beach, we were unbound by the restrictions of time. Simulations that would have taken years or more were simple and effortless. Everything that the Earth had lost and forgotten could be reconstructed and reclaimed. But shortly after we began our research, America saw its first void out. I thought I was running out of time, that my nightmares were becoming a reality. So I raced to complete the chiral network as quickly as possible. The past held all the answers. If only I could find a way to piece them together. A network that bridged our world and the beach. That might do it, I believed. So I started researching bridge babies, children bound to the world of the dead. What causes an extinction entity to come into being? What was the reason for the previous 5 mass extinctions? The answers to those questions would tell me how to stop the 6th. I founded bridges, more determined than ever to build a chiral network that would cover all of America. But the longer I fought my war against the inevitable, the weaker I became. My Hawa had cancer. The beach's punishment, maybe, for not playing along like a good little EE. And then, just like that, my Hawa was gone. I couldn't finish what I'd started. So, I asked you to do it for me. And you did. You helped us complete the network. Helped us to reclaim everything the universe experienced from its inception to this moment. Every mystery was ours to solve, like this one. Once, there was an explosion. A big bang that gave birth to time and space. Thing is, it was more like a big fluke. All that matter and antimatter should have canceled itself out, leaving nothing. But somehow a tiny speck of matter survived. Just enough. Enough to make this world and everything in it. A world that shouldn't be, a world out of balance. Order inevitably gives way to chaos. Everything that lives must inevitably die. It's like the universe is trying to return us to the nothing we came from. Maybe the Big Five were its best attempts to finish us off. But somehow, life always managed to survive.
Life finds a way.
Enough to thumb its nose at the will of the cosmos. You know, I'm starting to think that extinction might be the key to overcoming total annihilation. It forces life to fight to survive, to endure, to exist. That's why the Big Five ultimately rekindled life instead of extinguishing it. From the ashes of the dead rise the living, stronger and wiser, inheritors of the legacy of existence itself. They defy the universe and refuse to surrender. They say, we're just getting started. Extinction is an opportunity.
I mean, I don't mind the whole philosophy behind this character. It's just the placing of it is very, to me, very poor. And again, what it takes to get here is definitely something that I think hinders the game more than it helps. And I think that it does come from playing other open world games like Marvel's Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima, where the world is very filled with things to do and side quest and quest, and the world just feels like it's worth exploring. Whereas this, there's a lot of emptiness, there's a lot of openness, there's a lot of just walking from place to place, or if you have a motorcycle, if you're not, being hindered by rocks, there's that. And there are things that hinder your motorcycle, like the snow, explicitly. So yeah, there's definitely stuff that, prevents you from exploring in the most efficient way possible, whereas the other games I mentioned simply don't.
I pulled the trigger twice that day. I knew at once I'd made a mistake. I found your beach and looked everywhere for you. Sam. There you are. Free from death once and for all. It's okay. I know the way. But in doing so, I upset the fundamental balance between life and death. I just wanted to save you. I am an extinction entity. It's my fate to lead our species to extinction. But that moment, you became part of that fate. You became a repatriate, and dooms started spreading my nightmares to others throughout the world. It was me that got you and everyone with dooms into this. Not long after, a death stranding occurred. The dead clung to our world, and BTs used my beach to cross over and devour them, triggering more void outs, a catalyst that would set the world on a path to extinction. It was my duty to serve as a sacrifice, to wait and watch it unfold from this beach. That, or hasten the last stranding and end this slow death. Given these, my only options, I chose to end it quickly. But to trigger the last stranding, I needed you, a part of me. Here too. I would be able to witness extinction consummated with you by my side. But now that you're here, there's another choice. You can cut me off. An EE doesn't have that option for itself, but in my nightmares, I saw another future, one that you chose. One where extinction is hope against total annihilation.
he's trying to say I'm part of the EE, I guess, or whatever. Oh boy, what a rough video game. Nope. Get out of that. Ignore it. Probably got copyright for that few seconds, but you know what it is. So yeah, that essentially to no one's surprise, well, let me make sure it's all the way down. Here, there we go. So controller's finally down. I'll let the credits play out, but yeah, like I was saying, I don't think the director's cut can really save the other issues outside of some of its combat. And I noticed, at least from the combat that I was seeing from that version, was that it was more focused on like combat against other human enemies, which is good, but I don't think that, again, it would be objective of me to say that that is the only issue in this game. So yeah. I mean, you know, there is always going to be a certain level of respect for trying a new thing, for Hideo Kojima, of course, and the split from the you know, the games of like Metal Gear and things like that. And there's always going to be a risk involved with that, and I think when you look at the writing for this in particular, comparatively, is that there's definitely some tropes that it shares with those games, but I think, again, the issue does come in part that plays against this and not those games or that series or franchise or whatever word you want to use, is ultimately going to be the pacing. I mean, even in Metal Gear, you know, the very feel of it, the type of game it is different. It is a sneaky, you know, you're sneaking around and you're actively participating in whether or not how sneaky you are, whether that be trying to constantly avoid people or whatever. And the world that it is encompassed in is significantly smaller, which you know, also helps with the pacing of, you know, you're moving from room to room and quickly either, you know, getting caught or, you know, staying hidden or whatever. And I think when you open up a game this big and you kind of leave it open as this is, and the rewards I was seeing from just doing some side missions before coming back to this final part didn't seem like it was as worth it as I thought it was going to be. They just seem to be more upgrades to things I already have, which is okay, but like the consequence to get to that point is still getting from point A to point B, which could be, you know, again, shortened significantly by a motorcycle, again, depending on where you are exactly. Or it could take as long as any other mission if you're in the snow or, you know, anything of that nature. Whereas, you know, when you comparatively play a game like Spider-Man, there are activities everywhere, and the points you're accumulating through doing the activities, which are everywhere, omnipresent in every direction, and they vary from thing to thing. So the combat is always going to be the same at the end of the day, but the variety of what you're seeing is going to vary a little bit, enough to where it's like, okay, you're exploring your options here a little bit, as well as giving, the players, when they say, when they complete a task, they get a costume, or, and that costume comes with its own perks. That, to me, is a much more sufficient way of spreading out the unlockable for, the mindset of, I want to, explore the world, versus this, where it feels like the consequence is, I'm traveling this far, and all I got was this. It's a dangerous mindset, and it could be for the same thing. Like, I could have unlocked a costume, and I could have been like, well, this costume wasn't worth walking 200 miles or whatever, 100 miles or whatever distance is covered in this game. I noticed the credits stopped, and the game didn't come to some sort of like... So let me walk around and see if anything happens when I do that.
A gun won't help you here, but it still has a role to play.
There you go. Sorry, I was so into the talk I was having. Well, it's not over yet, because cutscenes after the credit.
I was the one that brought you and Cliff together again. There was something I wanted you to know. You were never abandoned. And you're not alone. Don't you see, Sam? You have to live.
Oh, it's the thing you see in the trailers. The 5 extinctions. Oh, so that's what they were. I see. I put that together without... Okay, so that's smart. Like, see, visual storytelling right there. Like, I just had to look at that and just think for like a moment. It was like, what was that all that time? Oh yeah, of course, the 5 extinctions. And this gloopy goop is moving me closer to the 5 extinctions. Very slowly.
Okay. Luke, take me to Sam.
Yeah, because everyone was like, when they first saw this, they were like, what the fuck? And it was all storytelling through visual. Okay.
Don't give up. You're still connected.
Okay. I want to see if there's anything else when that load happens. Because there's still a story apparently happening. So that's why I'm like, well, I can't end it yet, obviously, because as convoluted as the story and how, you know, all that stuff I was saying, I wouldn't be doing my full job if I
Too long have we lived as strangers.
just skipped it.
Divided by walls built to keep us safe. But now with the completion of the chiral network, we may at last move forward as a people united. Today we come together to celebrate the birth of a new nation. A new nation for a new world. The United Cities of America. I once took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And though that proud republic may be no more, we remain. And so, as your president, I hereby swear to support and defend you, the people. Let there be no more walls between us, nor masks to hide who we are. Let there be a new America. An America where we can face one another, where we can speak our minds and open our hearts. The old ways die hard, but I believe, my fellow Americans, that we have the strength and the courage to rise above our past and embrace our future. The Death Stranding is a part of that past. An enduring shadow, a constant reminder of what could have been. That we stand here today is testament not to the greatness of any one individual, but to our capacity to come together, to the bonds between us, to our collective greatness. All things must come to an end, ourselves included. But as long as we savor each moment, find joy in the promise of tomorrow, embrace hope, and reject despair, we will endure. President Bridget Strand and her daughter, Samantha America Strand, sacrificed everything in their pursuit of hope that we, the people, might be whole again. That they are not here today to see the fruits of their labor fills us all with a profound sadness. But we find comfort in the knowledge that their memories will live on in the chiral network and in our hearts. We will always remain connected. There's another hero in this story. One whose achievements seem destined to go unrecognized. America still needs that hero. That person without whom we would not be here. The name is unimportant. But you know who I mean. And for that unsung hero, I have a message. It was you who brought us together. You who made us whole again. And while you and I will eventually pass on,
Going somewhere, Sam? Tired of being the unsung hero?
No, I'm done is all. She's gone.
Come on, wait. There's something I need to tell you. Huh. This doesn't bother you anymore? Well, that's great. Now, wouldn't you like to know how we brought you back from the beach? We were going to use the doll, but didn't have one handy, which is when I remembered something else.
Not what I think it is.
Yes. What could be more connected to Amelie's beach than President Strand's umbilical cord? Hartman thought that's why she left it with me in the first place. Unfortunately,
it didn't work.
Yeah, she'd already cut her beach loose. It was just gone. We didn't know if that meant she dragged you into the great beyond or sent you to some other beach. We were really racking our brains. Hartman and Mama split up and started searching every beach you might feasibly have washed up on. We looked for a month with absolutely nothing to show for it.
Damn.
A month on the outside. How long on the inside?
Trust me when I tell you, you don't want to know. But don't worry. We found no signs of accelerated aging. In the end, this is what led us to you. Just when we were about to give up, Die Hartman reminded us about the revolver. So we tried to follow it, and it led us to a far corner of your own beach. And bingo, there you were. Mama made visual contact first. She was able to see you from her vantage point on the other side. She informed Lockna via their connection, and Hartman confirmed your location during his subsequent NDE. The plan was for Fragile to, in essence, slingshot Lou and me to your position so we could rescue you. But it's not so easy to send multiple individuals to another person's beach for an extended period of time. And that's where the umbilical cord came in. We wove these from President Strand's DNA. They serve as a single knot that binds us all. The president must have known all of this would happen. Ironic, isn't it? The gun that set this whole mess in motion ends up being the key to saving you.
Amelie, she said it had another purpose.
Not a weapon, but a lifeline. A stick that became a rope. I suppose that's one way of putting it. Oh, Sam. I have no idea how long I've been waiting to give you a hug. Got something else to tell you. Top secret. It's about Cliff. BB's mother's name was Lisa Bridges. Cliff's common law wife.
Lisa Bridges.
No. Cliff was killed by a man identified in the records only as John. Former U.S. Special Forces. Quite good at it by all accounts. Later appointed as an aide to the president, who used him for most of her wet work. The records go on to state that he vanished after Cliff's death. A warrant was put out, but he was later found dead. Turned out some people die harder than others, though. Dear John donned a mask and reappeared with a new identity. But you can't fool the chiral network. We restored the old records, and Mama hid them deep in the archives. You're the only one besides us with access privileges. Take a look if you're so inclined. But don't say I didn't warn you. The president's got some dirty, dirty laundry. I don't trust him, but I'll work with him if that's what it takes. We'll talk later.
Sam!
Bro.
I don't expect you to forgive me. But would you hear me out? I killed Captain Clifford Unger.
Yeah, I know.
I would tell you I did it for America. For love of country. But I didn't. I did it for her. Because I loved her with all my heart. She was everything to me. Everything. Now I'm not trying to make excuses. I just want you to know that not a day's gone by when I haven't thought about it. Time didn't help. Or the mask. Please, let me finish. The captain, saved my life. You know why they call me Die Hardman?
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't let me die. He brought my sorry ass back home every time. And I loved him as much as I loved her. And when he stared me down, that ghost, I knew he was here to kill me, to make it right. And why shouldn't he? Why didn't he? He couldn't save his kid, his baby. And that's what brought him back. I guess when he saw I was trying to do my part for America, he remembered who he was. And he forgave me. God! But I don't deserve it, God damn it! Maybe this is the next best thing. Maybe he brought me back from the beach for a reason. One last time. He wanted me to do this. To keep on being Die Hardman.
No, he didn't. Nobody wants a president who acts like they're immortal. And if you're not scared of death, how can you value life? And life is pretty fucking fragile right now. And yeah, the old ways die hard. But that's what's gonna have to happen if we're gonna come together and build a better America. That gun won't help you here. That's her words, not mine.
Thank you, Sam.
Like, that was a really great scene. I had to wait until after I beat the game to get it. And still more.
Been waiting for you. Lou?
Dead.
Poor thing was never truly alive. Not in this world, at least. The decommissioning order finally came through. Can't risk necrosis. The body can't stay here. I thought you might want to take care of it. You could try taking Lou out of the pod just to see what happens. But that would be in direct contravention of an executive order. And there are laws about that kind of thing, now that we're a nation. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But if the alternative is defying the president, I can't do that either. Not me.
All right. I'll go to the incinerator.
Before you leave, I'd like to check something quickly. I just took your cufflinks offline. In that state, there'd be nothing to stop you from removing them. If you did, the UCA wouldn't know where you were or how to find you. You'd be invisible. When you use the incinerator, you'll be reconnected to the network automatically. I trust you'll remember what I said.
Right, absolutely. Thanks for everything. How's the weather?
Don't think you'll be needing an umbrella. I decided to follow my father's dream after all. Don't worry. I won't get mixed up with any terrorists this time. UCA's got my back. We're the first private delivery company to get the official approval.
Sounds like you're moving up in the world. Congratulations.
Thanks. Wait. There's something I have to tell you.
Of course there is.
I didn't shoot Higgs. Couldn't pull the trigger. So I let him choose. Death or eternal solitude on the beach.
Fair enough. You never did like breaking things.
That's right. I find and fix what's broken. And reconnect. I'm fragile.
But not that fragile.
Want to come work for me? Could use a man like you.
The world's still broken. Same as before.
What isn't? But we're still here. We're still chugging along.
Not everyone. Not me.
Come on. You put America back together, didn't you?
Doesn't mean there's a place for me. I've got no ties to anyone or anything. I might as well be dead. I felt like that when we first met in the cave. I still do.
Don't act like you're the same person. You've learned how to touch, to feel. You've connected with people. With us.
Everything I touch, I lose.
Sam!
Come on, Lou. One last delivery.
Episode 14, Lou. Oh, you thought the game was over? Nah, brah. As if. Well, gotta put that away. There goes the sound. Bye. I don't trust it. Even if it's custom for the video game. Sorry. Oh, these things are locked. Okay. Would it be bad if I said I completely don't know how to get to this place? Not allowed. Is it bad I really don't remember where the incinerator is? Why would the game do this? Why would it not allow me to figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go? Oh boy. Is this little bit worth it? Because I don't even know where the incinerator is off the top of my head. Is it that building? Get out of the way, Rock. I think that's it? I don't even know. Yeah, I think this is it. Hey, I found it on my own. Okay, well that wasn't too bad, even without the map. I didn't even have to look it up. I managed to figure it out.
Alright. I guess we're here. You still with me, Lil?
Poor thing was never truly alive. Not in this world, at least.
Thanks for everything.
Special. One of a kind. A BB candidate. Either that or a sacrifice.
A foundation. A bridge.
Brought you an astronaut. Mankind can go anywhere, even outer space. You'll be out of there in no time. And the second all this is over, I'm going to take you wherever you want to go. Can I help you? Holy shit. John, is that you?
Captain, what are you doing here?
My wife's checked in. They don't want to repeat of last year.
The void out in Manhattan. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were the husband.
This isn't what we agreed on. You said you'd do everything in your power to save Bibi.
We are. But we cannot release your son just yet. Believe me when I tell you it's for the best.
Says the woman in the mask who's done nothing but lie to me.
I have a duty to protect our country. Lies are an unfortunate necessity.
More content.
President gave me the highest level access privileges. I've used them to manipulate the security system. We have 5 minutes before it resets, sir. 5 minutes to talk. Off the record. Take BB and get out of this place. There's nothing I can do for your wife. I'm sorry. You were my commanding officer, but I swore an oath to the president to protect her and the country at all costs. Now, if she orders me to do something, I have to do it. I have to. But I served under you first. And your family doesn't deserve this. Any of this.
Why are you helping me? If they catch you.
Because you saved my life, sir. Again and again. When the brass sent us into the jaws of hell, it was you that brought us home. Back then I thought I was invincible. I thought I was some kind of action hero. But I'm not the hero. You are, sir. You're the reason I'm still alive. And it's past time I paid that debt. They're moving your son to a new facility tomorrow. You'll never see him again. He'll serve as the foundation of a new communications network. A sacrifice for a nation that no longer exists. I wrote down everything you need to know. It was the only way to keep it off the system. Burn it when you're done.
Burn the evidence, hurrah!
The rest is up to you, sir. I believe this belongs to you, sir. Now, I can't terminate your wife's life support from inside her room. System won't allow it. So, this is the only other option. alarm is set to go off if she flatlines. I've rigged the system to spoof her vitals. But you won't have long. 5 minutes tops. Don't hesitate, sir. This is the only chance you'll get. Sorry, Lisa. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. I promise you. Promise you.
Lisa Strand.
Just took your cufflinks offline. In that state, there'd be nothing to stop you from removing them. If you did, the UCA wouldn't know where you were or how to find you. You'd be invisible. When you use the incinerator, you'll be reconnected to the network automatically. You could try taking Lou out of the pod just to see what happens. That would be in direct contravention of an executive order. survive the pop, there is a 70% risk of catastrophic failure simply in removing it.
I gotta see more. I gotta know more. Putting controller back down. A lot of material here. And if I was the writer of this game, I would have, or director, I think I would have chosen a completely different path. Ow. I'll tell you what I would have done in terms of like changing some things around. I think I would have started the game here. And I'll tell you why.
Freeze! Hey, put it down! Don't put it down! Back off! Don't do it! I'll handle this.
Okay, well, I was ordered to go one specific way. I was gonna say, it would be interesting to, or would have been interesting to have played as him / Die Hard Man at points of the game and remove the open world aspect. Because I think the delivery section of this game sacrifices part of the story. Again, just in terms of pacing alone.
No! You got it! You two! Stay there! And hold your fire! Step aside, sir, or we'll be forced to open fire. It's a dead end. He's trapped. Security will take it from here.
That's unfortunate. He doesn't even realize, does he? Alright, well.
I'm sorry, Nathan. I screwed it up. I ruined everything.
Well, I guess that's not true.
This room is off limits. No one goes in. In there where I talk, you go. I'll check the other way. Go!
I mean, eventually it all worked out in a weird way. I guess.
Don't worry. It's okay. I'll always be with you. See the sunset, the day.
And we're seeing all the little flashes we saw throughout the game, right? That's what this is.
There's no pretend. I will hold you and protect you. So that
Yes.
when I found out I was gonna be a father, I was so scared.
That's what we were seeing at the end.
Scared of what it would mean. I had to be there for you and your mom, no matter what. I couldn't just go off and get myself killed anymore. Couldn't leave you all alone. I couldn't.
Get off of him! Now!
I had it all wrong. All wrong. Being a father didn't make me scared.
Made me brave.
Made me brave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it took me so long. Captain, look at you. Don't make the same mistake. Be yourself. Be free.
Oh my God.
Captain, I need you to hand it over.
Shoot him, John.
Let it go. Please.
Shoot him! I gave you an order. Shoot him!
Whoa!
What you were saying, Bridges. My son. My bridge to the future.
The thing I knew all this time?
It was just like any other cliff. Dead end. No way forward. Nothing but an obstacle. Looking on at the world people like you were trying to build. Dividing people was the only thing I was ever good at. You bring people together. You're that bridge to the future.
Is this me?
Ah, that's the thing he did.
That BB-2.
We were a baby all along.
Welcome back.
You understand his days as a BB are over, now that his connection to the other side has been severed.
It was me who cut the cord. So yes.
A deathless repatriated in the world of the living. Should we decommission it?
In a matter of speaking. Taken out the pod. Always send us my
There you go. Anyway, back to what we were doing currently. The pod has been set free.
Wake up. Come on, wake up.
Oh, it's okay to walk outside in the rain now? There we go. Jesus Christ. Oh boy. Yeah, say no, this is so much more. Oh, get that out of here. No, 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 no. Oh boy. The question is, are these real credits or fake credits? I have no clue. So you already got my thoughts on the game. I'll do an official review, which will be significantly shorter of this, of course. So that'll be easy to compile. And, make a full objective review. And I'll restate a lot of the things I'm saying now. So yeah. But there you go, there's our cast again, just in case if that wasn't clear. And, I was saying a little bit of it, of like how I would sort of try to figure out, like, how can you go about telling this story while changing the type of game this is, because, again, the open world nature of it, I do feel like does hurt it a little bit, or I should say, a portion of the game, again, with its pacing and such. And I think one way of doing that is sort of making these smaller areas that, and if you're still content with doing the whole delivery service aspect of it, if that's really the style of, connection type game you want to go through, then I would say make the game, the areas significantly smaller, but have them stand out significantly more than this game, because I feel like a lot of the first area, the whole grassland portion, started to grow stale and tired, and then it sort of started to transition into something else finally. But that took forever to get there in that regard. And just, whether it be like, you could like sort of interweave through like broken houses and like, like little like areas like that. Insomniac games, huh? That's interesting, because they were the ones responsible for Marvel's Spider-Man. So yeah, I feel like sort of bunching a lot of that together, or a little bit closer together. Or if you are going to leave it open, I would still emphasize, like, maybe there are still other areas that are a little bit closer together in terms of just, like, buildings and facilities. I would actually probably argue to make the bad guys, like the human enemies, a more constant threat. However, in lieu of that, I would also say the thing that would need to be upgraded for that to be the case is the gun mechanics. When you aim your gun, it just doesn't feel as good as most other shooter games that I'm used to seeing and feeling out. The feel of this gun isn't particularly all that great, and that, again, I can directly compare that to Metal Gear Solid, which the guns in that are phenomenal. They all feel like functioning guns, and the weight and like the bounciness of like when you shoot a gun in that, by comparison, is a lot more sufficient. Here it is not, so there's that consequence of like. And the cover system was just god-awful in this as well, particularly when, when that whole system was, like, reintroducing itself, or introducing itself in that different aspect of, like, you were already in the middle of the game, and then, like, it brings you to that, like, whole flashback scenario. That whole, that flashback scenario, its design was awful. Like, there was barely, conceivable cover. There wasn't mechanics for you to, like, hit up against the wall, like, again, compared to, like, Solid Snake, who can, do the wall thing. So it's, like, a direct, like, comparison comparison, again, to just Metal Gear alone, you could take a lot of what Metal Gear does right and see what parts of that are missing here, I feel like. And again, like, it's really hard to gauge whether or not the open world aspect was worth it, I feel. Because again, there's a consequence of the pacing. And again, I can't just emphasize that enough, because I think that's like the majority of the problem, on top of the combat being terrible. The story, as I mentioned, pays a huge consequence, because by the time, again, you get to these sort of set pieces that finally reveal a piece of said story, it's like, that scene alone was good, but it just took so long to get here, and it feels like it almost, again, it has that weird that weird vibe of like, I went through all of that just to get this. Like, the amount you put in doesn't equate to the amount that is given back to you. That's what it feels like, because of how open the game is. And I know it's a weird sort of comparison, or a weird way of looking at it, but I think that's a lot of something that I think we are very not, most the majority of people aren't used to, is getting that sort of how much you're willing to wait to get to the next story beat. I mean, maybe some people are willing to wait significantly longer than even myself. That could very well be possible. And I feel like a lot of quite a few, or even a lot of the side missions, I don't feel like they were... I don't feel like they added I don't feel like they added enough to that being warranted, where I almost feel like, again, like the whole aspect of this game being like a sort of a delivery simulator, as much as, that's been sort of joked and even memed about. I would still say that I think that in it of itself is a problem. And again, just how much is compensated for that versus how much of the world there just is, and how much of you're getting out of that time you're spent just walking, running, even driving, because that can still take quite a number of minutes or hours depending on what you're doing. Like this recording, for example, I'm on 3 hours, and the previous video was like 4 hours. That was 6 hours of, just me going from the end of the game all the way back to the beginning, just to get that content that I just got right there, some of which was sort of alluded to throughout the game, but that sort of cemented it through. And again, I feel like there are definitely better ways to sort of give little hints to the player through your story than that. Like the whole the 5 apocalypses, as they put it, or whatever the word they use, extinctions. That through visual storytelling was able to create that imagery, and it was able to snap in my head. Like, there's stuff you can do to definitely do that, but there's definitely some material here that I feel like is very inconsequential. And let me turn it back up, because we have it. Shocker! More content!
No. Louise.
There you go. His full name. Louis Strand. Or Louis Bridge, I suppose. Curious if there's anything else that I should be wary of. Like, when does the game end? You know what I'm saying? You know, if it brings me back to the title screen, I'll be like, oh, that's the end all be end all end. Thanks for coming. Tomorrow is in your hands. 2 weeks earlier. Excuse me? Excuse me? Huh? What does that even mean? What else is there? What does that even mean?
Good morning, Sam. Blood collection complete. Thank you for your generosity.
Well, look who's awake. Morning, Sam. You'll be happy to hear your vitals have stabilized, and that you're well on your way to recovery. Not that it's your fault, but what I wouldn't give to trade places. We're all stuck in the president's office, working like dogs to get everything ready in time for the inauguration. But at least one of us is still free as a bird. You should head out. Make the most of it. Could even do some orders if you wanted. Might do you good to get back in the game. You may recall it was raining buckets back when you left for Amelie's Beach. We took a real beating at the time, but we've done our best to service the structures and vehicles in the area. So you know, any cargo that was stored in your private locker at a damaged facility should have been transferred to your private locker here at this distro center. Anyway, busy or not, we'll still be on the end of the line if you need us. And if you want some alone time, we should be able to manage for now. Just make sure you're back in time for the big day, alright? See you then. Hey, Sam, you sure you don't have any unfinished business?
Past time until the president inauguration. What the fuck? What is this bullshit? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, I was told I was getting some sort of important interview though, so let's look for that though. Sam has returned, safe and sound. It has been about a month since he departed for Amelia's Beach, 30 days of relentless searching for us. Though, for him, it must have felt like an eternity. I cannot imagine the isolation and despair he must have been forced to endure, a suffering known only by Amelia and Bridget. Sam has told us about the extinction entity and how it had granted humanity to reprieve, but beyond that, he is reluctant to speak. Well, we should not put anything else he has any pressure on him. Frankly, I expect we would struggle not to comprehend anything he tells us. Suffice to say that the last stranding has been avoided, even if the precursor has forever reshaped our world. Thousands and thousands of years from now, should intelligent life walk the earth and find our fossils, they will likely conclude that Homo sapiens died out in the sixth extinction. Perhaps, if we are lucky, they may even find records we leave behind. Still, we cannot hope to guess how much they will understand about who we were. After all, their intelligence will not be like ours. Theirs will be different understanding of the world, of the universe, different forms of existence, different conceptions of what it is to be alive. These invariably lead to different conceptions of what it is to die. But it matters not if they understand who we were. All that matters, in my opinion at least, is that they know that we were here. Whoa. A delivery outfit over to the west tell of the BC sensing abilities and has expressed interest in bringing me on board. Seems they operate outside Bridge's spheres of influence, and they want to leverage my experience and know-how to expand their operation. Could be interesting. It's funny. I started making runs of necessity to stay alive, but that's all changed. I'm an altruist now. I live to help other people. Preppers around these parts rely on me. Hell, they wouldn't even last 5 minutes without me. What would my daddy say if we could see me now? He taught me man's his own keeper, but here I am, part of a community, working with other people, bringing the world together. Daddy always told me that the wide world was dangerous. Then we had to stay in our shelters, spend our life there, die there. Well, fuck, the community's what it's all about. Buddy of mine died today. He got out in the mountains on a delivery, and it was goddamn foggy. I guess he lost sight of the trail. He called me, asking for my help, but then the line went dead. I went to the void out from nearby, nearly blinded me. Guess wandered into BT territory. There aren't many of porters left these days. Not many could trust to get the job done. Anyway, folks quitting or dying, going mule. Attrition's a bitch. If we keep on going, we're gonna need better equipment and someone else who can track PTs. I can still manage sometimes, but my power is getting weaker. I can feel it. Just wish I knew what to do, cause at this rate I'm fucked. We all are. My first memory is looking up at the ceiling of our shelter as a baby, bawling my eyes. All of a sudden, the hand of God comes into view, blotting out the steel sky. Daddy lifts me up, not gentle, but hard. Shouts some stuff, but it's all gibberish. I can't make heads or tails of it. He ain't my real daddy, though. The one who died. That one died before I was born, and Mama soon after. Of disease or something, I don't know. Her brother took me in, whisked me away from the shelter, reeking off piss and death, and brought me here, Daddy number 2. He never really took to it. He was an ugly, violent man, full of anger with nowhere to go. Tried to love me in his own way, but I don't know if he could have ever had it in him. Daddy told me shelter was our world, and I believed him. I grew up thinking no one but us two existed. Then, when I got a little older, I started asking questions, simple questions, where the food came from and that kind of thing. Got smacked upside the head for my troubles, but try as he might, he couldn't beat the curiosity out of me. One day I peeked at the monitor. It was the first glimpse I have ever caught of the outside world. I pestered Daddy about it, and you bet I caught holy hell for it before I wore him down. Eventually he came clean and admitted that the whole world out there soaked to the bone by timefall and overrun by demons that eat me up. It occurred to me later that his fear-mongering probably got my mama killed, filling her head with hysterics about the dead walking the earth and the only safe haven being 6 feet under. My mama entrusted me to her brother, so he had no choice but to raise me best he could. Say what you will about the man, but he had himself a sense of obligation. He might have harbored a measure of affection for me, but whatever was in his heart, he expressed with his hands, his fist, and hopes and dreams he might have had for us fell by the wayside pretty quick. We slipped into a daily routine of warnings to stay the fuck inside, booking me by beatings to drive the point home. I think sometimes he sincerely believed that was the only way to protect me, but I wasn't about to go on living like that. Can't cage a young boy's spirit. If I'd stayed, I'd have died. Body and soul, I had to get out. Started hoarding supplies in secret, but he caught on. That was the beginning of the worst beating yet. He was grabbing me, grabbing anything and everything within reach that he could be used as a weapon, tearing out shelter apart, smashing furniture, all the while wailing like a wounded animal, tears streaming down his face. He pinned me down, tears and spit flying in my face as he blubbered on about me not understanding his pain, his fucking pain, his hands around my neck, darkness creeping in from the corners, his fucking pain, the kitchen knife in my hands, in his neck, his hands, his fucking hands, they grow weak, and he just deflates like a balloon all over me. I roll off, and I took into his glassy eyes filled with that fucking pain in our stale sky. I don't know how I feel after. I spent the night next to him, by my mind a blank canvas. In the back of a nagging voice, I had to dispose of it. Daddy hadn't told me much, but he had told me enough about bodies go necro, pop BTs and all that, made for a good bedtime story, so I knew what would happen if I let him lie beneath. Death come into our home and turn into a crater. His stink was starting to fill up the room. I had to deal with him, had to get him out, get him as far away as possible, so I got my arms under his and dragged him out into a whole new world with a whole new sky, bigger, emptier, bare rock dotted with bushes all around, mountains, fucking mountains, off in the distance, crowds hugging their peaks. My knees started getting wobbly, and the world began to spin, but I knew that clock was ticking, eyes down, gotta keep with Daddy. Had been moving up a steady clip when I saw it. Chiralium coming off Daddy, little motes of shimmering light. I was out of time. I laid him down in the dirt. But before I go, I had a vision. My hands, still resting on his body, disappeared, vaporized into a fine mist. Poof, and then I felt another presence, BT coming slow but sure, like he'd been walking since the beginning of time, Daddy's keeper. That was the first one I sensed, but it wasn't the last. For a long time while after, I remained awakened to their presence, a sixth sense, Daddy's parting gift to me. Over time it'd fade, but I knew how I got it, and I knew how to get it back, and all I needed was another body, and I got real good at making them. Death for life, theirs for mine, a fair exchange. Huh? Back in the tube? That makes no sense whatsoever. I explicitly showed me through getting out of the tube. What nonsense is this?
Getting scanned. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain.
That's just a trial. Well, I'm sorry, but the credits rolled. I'm not gonna try to figure out, I'm not gonna do everything. This is not a 100% thing. I don't got time for that. This game is over. This Let's Play is over. Get ready for the full review coming up eventually. My name is Thomas Cecil Jr., aka Mustached, and if you ended up enjoying this Let's Play, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out those links in the description. One will head you over to my Discord, second to my Patreon, out there to my PayPal. Any donations are greatly appreciated. Help support the channel, help support me, and until next time, everyone, bye-bye!